Welcome to On the Chain. This is Jeff here with co-host Chip. What is going on, everyone? Hope you had a phenomenal weekend. XRP, what is the real purpose of the XRP Ledger? We're going to talk about that. And mainstream media doesn't cease, and they keep attacking XRP, or maybe they're just attacking crypto at large. We got a ton of stuff to talk about. Our buddy Charlie Gasparino, there's been a little hubbub going on within the XRP.
Still, Jeff.
What's going on with that? We'll talk about it. You ready?
Let's go.
Welcome to On the Chain.
And welcome everybody down the chain. Hey, what a great way to start your week, Jeff. Always, I love starting the week with the community. Sunday, it's kind of, well, it's not the official. It's actually the end of last week, but it's kind of the official launch of the week. Monday morning, obviously, is like the original launch of the week. And Jeff, I've always said that if everybody brought their Friday attitude on Monday morning, man, can you imagine the acceleration you'd hit by the time you got to Friday? It would be incredible. So, guys, drop where you're from, where you're coming in from. Look at that right off the bat. K-HUD, look at that. Drops a big super sticker. Thank you for that, K-HUD. Love the support from you guys.
What
Thank
is
you
up,
so
K-HUD?
much.
K-HUD's big supporter here.
OG
Jim D.
here. Jim B.
Legendary. And what's going on? Adrian actually made it early for once.
It's good to hear. I'm glad that you're here. Also, too, if you guys want to support the channel, I mean, really easy way to do it is you just join. There's a join button there somewhere on YouTube. You click join, and I think it's like $5 a month, but it's a nice way to like the channel, show your love for the channel and everything. Like Jim D's like one of the OGs and been there for a long time. There's a whole bunch. We had a whole bunch of them, but anyway, it does help. Believe it or not, there are hosting fees and this and that and podcasts and stuff. There are some fees associated with doing this, but Jeff and I do it out of the goodness of our hearts, right, Jeff? Big hearts. Love to do it.
And it's fun, and everybody enjoys it.
And it is fun. That's the best part about it. It is. I have to say, it is fun. So
lots of Michigan in the house.
Why is Michigan so prevalent, Jeff? You and I have that Michigan connection.
What's going on, Michigan?
We have the Gold Coast of Australia as well. Angela, what's up? How are you? Glad you make it. The Gold Coast. I gotta visit the Gold Coast too. I gotta be all over that, Jeff. One of these days, man. Australia seems like a great. Everybody in that country just seems, I don't know, fun.
That's it. And a big shout out to Hans Loaded for helping chop up the shorts.
So we get
those 10-minute segments. Hans Loaded is in somewhere.
Look at Mark Phillips is in there as well.
What's up, Mark?
By the way, I was going to show one of Mark's tweets, and then I was actually going to respond to one of Mark's tweets, but I'm like, how many times I've hit cancel and then hit save that I'm going to do it some other time. I've got hundreds of those that I've never sent. I've written it up. I put it out there, Jeff.
Chip is going to put out hundreds of tweets to you.
Not necessarily to Mark, but just to anybody. Like I think of something to say, something clever that I think, or usually it's the first thing off the top of my mind, right? And so with Mark's here, I think this is kind of appropriate. Let me go see if I can find that tweet by Mark.
See if you can get it. See if you can find it.
I can find it because Mark tweets a lot, man. If you guys aren't following Mark Phillips, I would recommend it. Here it is right here. Yeah, here it is. Yeah. Let's just start off with this. I think this is good. Well, Jeff teased it a little bit, but let's talk a little bit about Charlie Gasparino. Obviously, he's one of the on-screen talents over there at Fox Business. And Ellie Terrett, we've had her on the chain as well. But let's put this up here. So this is the tweet that I was thinking of in general. So Mark said, Gasparino is trolling the XRP community, doesn't care about the facts, whether for his own ego fluffing or some more nefarious purposes. The best response is to starve him of the attention he craves. Please retweet with your blocked screenshot. And of course, this is Charlie's thing, and there it is, blocked. It's blocked, Jeff.
Did he block him?
He did, yeah. And the call here was like, hey, starve him of the attention he craves. Go ahead and retweet it, and retweet this with your blocked screenshot. So I don't know how many people did that, but Gary Gensler resigned, said, I did the same yesterday. Ignore the FUD.
So there, it's crazy to see how much stuff has been going on, back and forth.
Yeah, Jim Hyatt said, I have no idea why people are so up in arms about this guy, what this guy says. Does anyone actually listen to him speak at length about any of this stuff on TV? Sounds like a fool to someone who actually knows what's going on. Who cares what he says? And the funny thing about it, Jeff, is honestly, the only people I've ever blocked are people, and even if people like they come out and they disagree with me and they say they were Jeff, you're a jerk, blah, blah, and I'm like, I don't care. You don't want to know why, Jeff? Because I care about free speech. And the best thing about free speech is sometimes the most important thing is there's gonna be disagreement. But
so here's the question: did he ever apologize to what he said about Jeremy Hogan?
I don't believe he did, but it got worse, Jeff. He's got a worse tweet floating out there than the one about Jeremy Hogan. Stefan Huber.
That was another one.
Do we have that tweet? Because that one I thought was really bad.
That was pretty bad. In the meantime, here's what Charlie has been up to earlier. And he was saying here, instead of going down the Hinman ethics violation rabbit hole, XRP community should be putting pressure on the SEC about how SBF, FTX token, FTT, somehow managed to evade the fate of Ripple XRP with Gary Gensler. FTT was an integral part of the FTX Alameda ecosystem. So now, why should the XRP community put an hyper focus on FTX? It's a foregone conclusion. Yes, we know there's a connection. His company is now crashed. There's going to be discovery, is now, going to court. So there's going to be some information on it. And if the XRP community is concerned about the XRP digital asset, when there's an ongoing case that is influencing the entire crypto ecosystem right now, which is the SEC v. Ripple, why wouldn't the XRP community be hyper-focused on what's going on with the SEC v. Ripple, as most communities within the crypto space should be? They should mostly be focused on, hey, what's the outcome of this SEC v. Ripple case going to look like? And how did the SEC, overreach in what they've done starting from day one when they dropped the lawsuit? And so, Chip, there's a lot that goes on with that. Charles continues here. He said that commingled everything. Scaramucci took FTT as part of SBF Skybridge investment, which has the smell of an unregistered security of itself. Yet SBF has multiple White House Gary Gensler meetings without a peep. The Hinman focus is a diversion that hurts the XRP cause. It might very well be, we've talked about that. What are your thoughts?
The funny thing about it is, I just don't understand. What does that have to do? Honestly, it's like, okay, what does that have to do, Jeff? I mean, with SEC v. Ripple, it's like SEC came after Ripple. It was definitely an overreach. It's ponderous of why exactly they did it, and I kind of get what he's saying, but where I lose him is when he say what the XRP community should be doing. Oh, wait a minute. I'm sorry. Are you the arbiter? Are you the person who's going to now explain to the XRP community? Are you the new ruler of the XRP community? Is it no longer BitBoy? Is it Charlie Gasparino that's in charge of that? You should be. No, we shouldn't be doing anything. And it's like, I just don't. It's just misplaced. It's very bizarre, the whole thing. I mean,
it is bizarre that he's continuing to double down on it. Even more so that he's blocking people. I mean, he's a professional journalist on Fox Business.
Okay, but
the fact that he's engaging with the community, I think, has been great. Right from the get go. But there's just the way things are unfolding is very bizarre. Just similar to what happened, on the House floor with Mike Rogers and Matt Gaetz. And so now today, you saw Mike Rogers come out and apologize. And he said, he got heated in that moment.
Yeah,
and then Matt Gaetz came out and said, yeah, we're cool. He's going to be the chair, and they're going to get along, and business as usual, and they're going to go back to everything's going to be great. And that's how they came out to apologize. This thing is going on far too long.
Yeah, it has. It has gone along, but the thing about it is, like, look, I have to look. I still have to focus on the bigger picture. And, maybe it's silly. I don't agree. And we talked a little bit about this yesterday. Hey, if you have a disagreement with someone on a subject, keep it about the subject matter. Don't go after somebody personally. And so personal attacks, they go both ways. And Charlie's gone after a couple people personally. Now, I know he's got this kind of a really dry, kind of awkward sense of humor, if you will. So a lot of he's doing this in jest. He's not real serious about it. He's flipping through his feed. He does something. But Jeff, now this came up. I couldn't find the other one with Stefan Huber, but I did find this one here. And this is Stefan Huber says, this is just too good to ignore. You cannot make this stuff up. So on the left side, there's a tweet about, I can't tell you how many times I hear bought and paid for by random dolts on Twitter. This is Charlie Gasparino's tweet. Must be the favorite excuse for grown men who live with their moms, believe in conspiracy theories, and lose money trading. Sad. Right? And if you look over here on the right, this is a book that Charles Gasparino wrote called Bought and Paid For. And I wasn't exactly 100% sure if that was true, so I did look it up on Amazon and a couple other sources. And here it is right here. There it is. The Hidden Relationship Between Wall Street and Washington. Bought and Paid For by Charles Gasparino. Yeah, kind of a weird thing. So he can't tell you how many times he's heard it, but apparently he wrote it. Now, is it the same guy? Let's look. I don't know. That looks like a younger Charlie Gasparino to me. It's hard to know. Is that the same guy? Let's look and see if that's... Yeah, this is when he was with CNBC. So this book's old. Was an online editor for CNBC and columnist for the Daily Beast and the New York Post, a freelance writer for Forbes. Yeah. So that is the same guy, but that's just a younger version of him. Jeff, come on. Look at this. This is like crazy, right? He can't tell you how many times you heard bought and paid for, and he wrote the book on bought and paid for.
I mean, this is a classic. It really, man, you can't make this stuff up as we progress through this. Things can't get any crazier. It really,
yeah. Well, let's
really
look through there. So I want to scroll through here because this just some of the weirdness that's going on. So Alice 1 says, smarter minds than yours disagree with you. Add me to the list of people who know XRP is the chosen currency going into the future. Knowing how you suddenly are so negative on XRP, it may mean that you are truly bought and paid for. Carry on exposing yourself. And Charles Gasparino said, no one is smarter than me. Someone else said, you're a puppet. Blah. This was the one Mr. Intuitive put this up. He said, throwback to when Liz Clayman attempted to be honest, but Gasparino had to come in defense of the hedge fund buddies. 130% of shares shorted, conspiracy, right?
Yeah, but you know what's strange? If you look at how Laura Ingraham, Hannity, and Charles Gasparino have all kind of behaved now as of late, over the past couple weeks, a lot of bizarre things, within their, their kind of sphere of influence. I don't know. I mean, it's, we just saw, our republic at work. We have a constitutional republic, and we just saw it at work for the past couple of weeks. We're with 15 votes on the House floor to elect a Speaker of the House. And yet the mainstream media, including some of those from Fox News, went out to continuously attack, people that were willing, willing to put everything on the line to go through the process the way it's meant to be gone through. But what's going on with Fox News? Because here's Charles Gasparino.
Fox News is
again.
Fox News is like one of the worst networks ever. Okay, you can file it run under CNN. You can file it under all of them. It's just a total waste, a waste of energy. Fox News. I mean, it's just a ridiculous network. But here's what happens: everyone goes back and they say when they know the history of this country and they know the fighting that went on, they don't know that most of the people, most of the men who signed the Declaration of Independence and they sent it over to hear English. Here's our Declaration of Independence. Well, what happened to most of them? Well, most of them ended up getting their families destroyed, killed, houses burned, businesses lost. They put it all on the line. And people are like, today, they're like, well, I would have done the same thing. You would have done the same thing. You're sitting there worried about how the constitutional republic is at play. And you go back to the 1800s, Jeff, where it took them 3 months to find a speaker. It was like 100 and some different rounds to find a speaker. And the whole idea of this, and people are like, well, they just kind of caved in anyway. They didn't. Well, I talked about that yesterday, so we're not going to rehash it. I went on a little rant yesterday, but no, there were things that were important. And one of the things that came out of that was that the speaker, Kevin McCarthy, agreed to vote on term limits. Now that's like the hen saying, hey, do you want to vote on whether or not you can watch the hen house? Sure, go ahead and vote on it. Do you want to vote on that? You can't watch the hen house anymore? The fox is going to be like, yeah, no, I'm going to watch I'm going to watch the hen house when everyone's inside, right? But you would know, you would expose the people on both sides who would vote against term limits. Like, who are they? Go ahead, because we don't know right now who's for it. Everyone gets on TV and they're like, of course I should be for term limits. Okay, well, let's vote on it. What's your vote? And so, Jeff, this whole thing is what I put it. This is, everyone was really tough until they have to go back and actually do something. That's like my buddy Bruce, who's no longer with us on planet Earth, but he used to say, hey, everything's a great idea until someone has to do something. And so it's, and everyone's like, I would have gone back in 1776. I would have fought too. Okay, probably not. Meanwhile, we see how our government was designed to work. It was designed to, like, Jeff, you brought this up before. It's designed to be arduous, slow moving, for a reason, right?
Yeah, I mean that's the whole point of the republic. I mean, if not, and and we can talk about this. It's a whole side subject.
A whole side. So let's not go down this rabbit hole, Jeff.
So let's not go down this rabbit hole. But it becomes critical only because this is how you get rid of people like Gary Gensler. This is how you hold them accountable.
Yes.
This is how things get done. And without it. But I do want to throw out some prayers to Rain. Rain says, prayers needed for myself and California with the storm. We'll reserve our prayers for rain. Not so much California, but for rain. But
rain here.
The power is out and there's been flooding. So Rain, yeah, we hope that you pull through. We know what storms are all about over here in South Florida. So in Florida in general. K-HUD, big supporter tonight. It's hard to lie to the masses. And that is true. And Chip, I want to bring this up here. There's just 3 comments to that Gasparino.
I wasn't done yet, Jeff.
I know, but let me just throw this up real quick because it kind of factors into where you're at here. And this one was important. So this is XRP, the one world bridge currency, says, Charles, the XRP community is acutely aware of the inappropriate meetings Gary Gensler and the SEC had with SBF. Gary G has been a part of 2 free passes, Ethereum, Joseph ETH, and FTX. Sickening. Gary needs to go to jail. XRPP Blunder said, it's not really a distraction when it is these foundational maneuvers that allow the things like FTX to occur. And what has hurt many, many, many people before FTX. What event will next take place where focus on FTX will then become a distraction? And Bearable Bull says, we've gone down both. Both are valid. You should stop denying the existence of one of them. And that's
good point. Yeah, very good points.
Really, really good points there.
This is the thing. The community is pretty, but you know what? If he says, like, I don't believe it, it's all stuff. But I see stuff that he posts on his feed all the time that I laugh at. Like, I openly laugh because it's so ridiculous, especially when he gets into politics. It's just laughable. Like, so I don't really, again, it's like, do I really care? At the end of the day, I don't. But this is an important topic. I'm not going to say what somebody said something to him. I hid that. But somebody said something like, hey, Charles, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, say that to my face, you coward. And that's the kind of stuff where, you know what? Hold your composure, man. Don't sink to a level. I don't care if you like Charlie or don't. You don't have to say like stuff like that. And he's perfectly right in saying say it to my face. So this who is this? The Pretzel Man said, hey, he meaning Gasparino will never sit down with John Deaton. He's not mentally capable of doing this. LOL. He's a TV character, not a real person. He doesn't have the balls as a man to sit down and have an educated debate with the legendary John Deaton. And he said, and then Charles Gasparino said, LOL, I sit down with John Deaton nearly every time he's in town. He comes on air with me. We have dinner. We agree on most and respectfully disagree on few other issues. Again, drop the delusions, conspiracy theorist acts. It's not a good look for the XRP crowd. And the bottom line is like, if he's sitting there telling you this, but this is the decorum right here. Everybody should take this advice. We agree on most and respectfully disagree on a few other issues. Okay, I don't see a lot of respectfully disagreement going on here. I see throat punching and launching stuff. And it's like, as a community, I get it. We're heated, right? We're in a bear market. Everyone's, the 401ks are in the toilet. I mean, it's rough. I mean, it's volatile out there. And, you see somebody like the legendary Amazon laying off 17,000 people. You're like, that's going to leave a mark. And people are angry and upset. But you know what? You can still keep your composure, keep it about the subject matter. And Charlie can say like, hey, I agree with it or I don't. And that's it.
Check out that comment from Toby.
Hey guys, if you buy Charles' book, have a look at the dedications and see if Mr. Burns Gensler is on the list with his old boss from MIT. That's a good idea, really.
A dedication. This is dedicated to Gary
Sometimes
Gensler.
you can look at let's see, look inside. Let's look inside, Jeff. Let's see what we can see here. Okay, so this is Charles Gasparino. When was it written? Let me throw it back up on screen here. This is have a look inside. When was this published? Oh, 2012, so 10 years ago. Copyright, yeah, 2010 and 2012. It's to Austin Kernan, a man of many talents, including not being afraid to speak his mind. Now, it would have been funny if I would have changed that ahead of time to Gary Gensler. Right? Right? I mean, imagine if it said like to Gary Gensler, a man of many talents. But of course, I did not.
Could have said that I dedicate this to Gary Gensler and
let's just look at the subjects, Jeff. Let's read through the subjects. First of all, this is just crazy. So the first chapter is about a secretive meeting. That doesn't sound weird or familiar or anything. Number 2, the left side of Wall Street. 3, deep roots. Chapter 4, so you want to come to the administration. 5, we know each other from Chicago. 6, doing God's work. 7, fat cats and fat bonuses. 8, money well spent. And then the afterword, where do we go from here? So there it is. There is the book, and here it is. He wrote a book on this whole thing, bought and paid for.
Now we got to read it.
I'm all right. I can't. It's too much anyway. That's enough of the that subject. But curious what people think about in the chat. And if you go ahead and leave a comment, what your thoughts are. What do you think about this whole thing? I mean,
Angela is saying he's in the public domain. He should have had a little decorum. His reputation that can be damaged, not some random XRP some order.
True, but I will say this too: is like he's also a person, and like that's not his official Twitter handle for the. Yeah, I get it. I mean, you could tie it back to that, but maybe I've said some things on Twitter, maybe a couple of things here and there, Jeff, that maybe I would go back and say like, I wish I wouldn't have done that. That's why I have so many in my drafts folder, because I don't actually send them. I think about it for a little bit, or sleep on it, or feel like it's not a good idea. But look, I mean, if you're a person, it's like, Jeff and I, we have the On the Chain podcast one, and that's pretty random. And then Jeff shares his opinions on his Twitter account. I share mine, and that's it. And just like anything, I kind of hold on to them semi tight, and I have changed over the years, and things have occurred that have changed my mindset. But I'm mostly thankful for Charles Gasparino for putting the big bright light on Fox Business, which is the number one business show here in the U.S., and about this overreach by the SEC. So, I mean, yeah, he's a character. It's like he can do whatever he wants. Who cares? I don't care. I'm not going to follow him.
No, it's his Twitter, and he can say what he wants, and whether it's good for his career or not good for his career, I don't know. But here's Sophia saying he's taunting people to argue with them for some reason, and then Mark is saying Charles knows what he's doing. He's purposely breaking up the XRP community. Why is the question? And it's going to be a quandary, and maybe someday we'll have some idea of exactly what's going on. Mark then says, my suspicion is that he's heard something, wants to distance himself. Yeah, it'll be, we definitely need to hear, at some point, but
yeah, right, I don't think we absolutely get to the bottom of it, but I will say that there was one additional one here, one hit, because it gets all kinds of crazy. They get all kinds of weird stuff going on here. But look at this one right here, Jeff. So somebody had said, here's a theory. Charles Gasparino got wind of a Ripple SEC settlement details, and then he was asked by sources to balance coverage of the case so both sides get a win, got super defensive of attacks from the community, insanity ensued, and it got out of hand. This is kind of fun, but I mean, this is, this is kind of what everybody does. Like this wild, crazy theories whenever, who knows? Is it true? Is it not true? I mean, I tend to think that everyone's trying to figure out why it doesn't make sense. So someone says, well, maybe this is what's going on. Speculation, right? That's what you hear from a lot of people, the whole idea of speculation, Jeff. It's kind of how it works.
And here's your buddy.
And someone put it in. Jim Cramer is really kind of, I mean, if he got out of like 10 years ago, he would have gone out probably on top, but no.
He expects
What's he on about now,
to
Jeff?
do a roundup of uncompliant crypto firms. He's been on this topic now for about a week or so, and he's urging investors to get out of crypto now. He's back with more warnings. Cramer, obviously we know who he is, but let's see. There was that joint statement that came out from, and we didn't cover it, but it came out from the FDIC, the OCC, and the Federal Reserve came out with a joint statement. And then his commentary is, I think these statements are the beginning of what I've been calling for, which is that the SEC is going to do a roundup of all the crypto firms who are not compliant. And it's interesting. He's the one calling for it. I mean, it's crazy. Citing John Stark, who served as an attorney for over 18 years in the SEC's enforcement division, Cramer stressed that Stark is now calling for a sweep. He said the SEC is going to sweep everything, which is why I'm telling everyone to get out of these. What does that even mean? What are they going to come and sweep and just systematically dismantle, all the crypto companies? Chip, I think he's kind of clowning around here. Look at this. I'm not calling for a crypto collapse. I'm calling for a collapse of the people in on the Ponzi scheme. Maybe we start with him.
I don't know what he's talking about, Jeff. I'll be honest with you. I'm not sure I get it. I don't know what he's talking about, but
dude, his stuff is so irrelevant.
We're 12 hours away, I believe. We're a few hours away from the official flare drop, Jeff. I almost forgot it was happening. It started like 12 years ago or something like that. It seems like forever and a day ago, and it's like, oh no, it's not going to be 6 months from now. It's going to be 100 months from now, or 10 months from now, or this. Well, it's tomorrow, right? It happens to be the official drop tomorrow, and
hey, check it out, Chip. J-Mon over on Twitch. That's it.
Talking to book. Oh my Twitch. Got a Twitcherator. Yeah, Twitch. So I don't know. I have to say, DM Logic. He's at I Am the Debate. Put out a video that I found to be pretty interesting, Jeff.
Funny.
Yeah, it was actually more of a warning. It was kind of there's a lot of concern about this flare drop. He raised points, and let me see if I can pull up this video. I'm gonna do it, but
not really coming.
What's that?
Maybe it's not really coming.
Well, this is him, and the reason I saw this video. Go ahead and take that, Jeff.
We need a sound effect.
I think we just had.
Okay, HUD. Cramer, get away from crypto. Come back to crypto. Get away from crypto so we can buy it. Oh wait, come back to crypto. We need to sell. Wait, no, get away from crypto. We need to buy more.
That's kind of how it works.
Come back to crypto. We need to unload our bags.
The reason I even saw this was because Hugo Fillion, the CEO founder of Flare, but this is DM Logic. He raises this point, Jeff, and I want to see what your thoughts are on this. And guys, share it inside the chat there. But let's listen to this.
Greetings, good citizens of Cryptopia. This is an emergency video by DM Logic. I haven't made a video for a while, but I haven't felt the need to make a video in a while. I just heard some very disturbing news that the Flare airdrop is literally going to be dropped from the air onto our heads. We're talking about mass casualties, concussions, maybe traumatic brain injuries, and then other things. Like, what if they drop it, like a bunch of it, all in one, like on our, like maybe in the water supply, and it poisons the water supply?
Hey, Jeff, I mean, a lot of this is what happens when you wait. This is exactly what happens when you wait so long. But anyway, Hugo had a really good sense of humor because he retweeted it with an
Yeah,
LOL.
Logic was great with these types of videos.
Yeah, these were the great kind of videos. But I was like, when I first heard it, I was like, wow, he looks really beat up about something. Like, well, man, he's really disturbed. But that
I do
airdrop, Jeff, I mean, it
remember.
could be dropped on your head from the air. It's a possibility, right?
Yep.
Yeah, there you go with the airdrop.
There was a video with DM Logic. Remember, he didn't he do the whole thing on who the real Vincent Wilson is? Remember, there's a whole turmoil, this turmoil that we see going on with Gasparino in the community right now. What they remember, there was, the Vincent Wilson said 20,000 XRP will be
That's what
life
you needed,
changing.
yeah.
And then somebody came out and said, I'm the real Vincent Wilson. And then someone else came out and said, you're not the real Vincent Wilson. I'm the real Vincent Wilson. Why are you mocking me? You remember the whole thing? And then the guy made a video because he was the real one and the other one was the fake one.
I remember, I seem to remember something about that. But the funny thing was that Vincent Wilson like disappeared, like put that out there, became like, and it's like it became such a giant success in such a very short period of time. And then look at this. Crypto Ryan says, on the chain, one of my favorite fellow YouTube channels. Any advice on growing a channel? I've been running mine for about 6 months now. Listen, do not take any advice from us, okay? If you want a slower growing YouTube channel than us, I mean, well, have at it. I'll give you some advice, But anyway, I think you stick to your voice. I think you stick to your guns on what you wanna talk about, and be open to letting that evolve. And just like anybody wants to get started in streaming, don't worry, you just got to start doing it, because your very first video, when you get to the 100th video and look back to the first video, you'll be like, wow, did I do that video? Jeff and I were both laughing about this. Like, our very first videos, it takes some time to find your voice. You've been doing it for 6 months. You're probably starting to settle in. How many subscribers do you have? And guys, go follow. Give Crypto Ryan give him a shot.
Check out
man.
Crypto Ryan.
Give him a shot. It's not easy to build a channel, man. So go ahead and let us know how many subs you have. I'd appreciate that.
So I found it, Chip. Hang on. This is old Greg. You guys are way bigger than when I first started watching. That's awesome. For all those out there that don't. So Chip, I'm sure there's a lot of people that don't even remember who DM Logic was.
Probably
DM
not.
Logic. This was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was
right.
a while ago.
So he made a music video about, and if you guys don't know Vincent Wilson, we were just talking about it a second ago. So Vincent Wilson, when you talk about, hey, did you get a Vincent Wilson? Do you own a Vincent Wilson? Then, we could see if anybody knows it out there, but there's an answer to that. One Vincent Wilson equals how many XRP, and that'll get in there. But I want to play this just for a short moment, just to get the flavor of Vincent Wilson. And this was over the turmoil. Let's see. Here we go. Come on now. Turn up the volume.
As the inspector. Yeah, okay, this is starting to bring back some. Oh, yeah. Okay, I remember this one.
Vincent Wilson, who are you? You seem to know a lot, it's true. Vincent Wilson.
Vincent Wilson, yeah.
Yeah.
I can remember when you first wrote Vincent Wilson.
Yeah, this was catchy. I remember this now, Jeff.
Oh, yeah.
Your enigmatic little first note, Vincent Wilson.
And in every video, he'd put 20,000 extra people will be life changing.
Yeah, Kelly Slade got it right there.
There you go, right there. There it is.
20,000 XRP could be life changing in a couple of years.
I
read it, I believe. And just like that, you disappeared. Vincent Wilson.
This was 4 years ago. It's a classic.
Are you from Ripple? Are you BG?
BG. Terrible guy. All right. So yeah, there you go, guys. Go look up.
Are you some rogue Illuminati?
Yeah, probably.
Oh man,
Yeah,
that was telling you what, this was classic 4 years ago.
It's
The
big stuff,
XRP
yeah.
community so different, dude. So different with dancing bears and riddles and Vincent Wilson's. You know, that stuff it's like it doesn't exist anymore. Now it's got serious.
People are
Man, now we're
serious.
talking about lawsuits, and
Poking
we're
people in the
talking
eyes.
about, you know, Supreme Court. We're talking about, you know, think about what we're talking about. Talking about a reporter on Fox News that's, you know, in it now with the XRP community. It's crazy. What happened to the Dancing Bears and DM Logic with the Vincent Wilsons?
Right. It was a lot of fun going on back there. Like we had a lot of fun. It was like goofy. There was goofy stuff. And I remember one time, like I remember Rain, like so Rain used to stream a lot too. And I remember one time I was in the middle of I was doing a chat with him. My channel got taken down, which was really weird. This is before Jeff and I started doing stuff. You play a track off your badass album. Well, it's in the comments down there, guys. I don't promote it here. I mean, it's not what we do here, but I do appreciate that, Rain. But if you guys want to listen to my music, go to nojoyyet.com. You can listen to it all you want. It's right, a link down in the comments. You can do that. But Rain, this was really cool about Rain. Rain would stream and he would open up with one of my tunes. So I was like, this is really weird. I go watch him. He's playing one of my tunes, which was flattering, not to say the least, but it felt odd. I'm like, dude, there's so many songs to play. Why are you playing mine? You know, but yeah, it was very, very cool.
I forgot your channel got taken down.
Yeah, and then I remember one time I was talking to Rain about it, and it was like a whole big thing, and we were doing a live stream. He was in his truck, and it was like there's so much weird. We had a lot of fun, man. There's a lot of fun going on there.
We did. Did we have him on?
Yeah, we had DM Logic on. Yeah, we had him on.
Man, that's crazy.
Yeah, we had him on last year. Actually, you know what? We need to get him in the interview side of things. But we had him on there because I tried to get him on for a while, and he was just busy doing stuff. But we did get him on here, and we groove. And I chat with them, DM him a lot, you know, pretty often. He's a good dude. He's a good dude, funny guy, creative guy, and you know, that's another guy where people he said some things that were real for him, and people started like throwing daggers at him. And it's like, dude, it's just the guy's opinion, man. You don't have to agree with them, you know, and you don't have to like, you know, crush them. Crush your head like a grape. You know, it's like, you don't have to do that, man. It's just like, it's okay.
So Angela's wondering how you can delegate and wrap flare, but the way I understand it, to uphold, all the flare drop coming to uphold is automatically going to be wrapped.
That's what I've been hearing, Jeff, but I'm a little bit confused about that. And also, too, there's going to be a proposal that will get voted on, so you will get to vote with your flare to see how Celsius has impacted a lot of holders. Like, for example, what about the exchanges that have gone down, FTXs, Celsius, Voyager, all that? There's going to be some kind of a proposal that's going to allow it. It's like, it's not really worth talking on it because it could change. But the idea is to not say, well, that's gone forever, good luck, and it'll just get redistributed. So we'll see what that happens. So, I mean, look, it's here. It's finally here.
I want my flare.
I want my XRP. Remember the XRP?
XRP.
Oh, that was I want my money. Money for nothing. Chicks for free, Jeff. That was like a song by Dire Straits back in the day. But that was the song for I want my MTV. It was not XRP. Of course not. Of course it wasn't.
So here, Chip, back on to serious note. So this is what happened, Chip. Back then, it was all about dancing bears and funny stuff. And now it's all about serious stuff, man. It's just like, it's crazy, but it's good. Good stuff. John Deaton said, former Fed Chair Alan Greenspan recently said crypto isn't investable. I didn't even know Alan Greenspan was still around, to tell you the truth. For me, it's a good sign. Just like when Jamie Dimon called Bitcoin a fraud, I bought more. And he's commenting here to Michael Branch, a top IRS official says cryptocurrency is here to stay and it's becoming more legitimate. The official added that the U.S. tax authority is looking to partner with crypto companies, noting, I don't see how we can operate in this space without it. Man, see that? But how is Alan Greenspan even talking about stuff? But you're right. You know,
Isn't he married to? He's married to the NBC correspondent, right? And Andrea Mitchell. No, Andrea Mitchell. Angria. She's always angry though. Andrea Mitchell. So Jeff, let's just talking about fun and getting back to fun things. This was kind of fun. So let's talk a little bit about this.
No
This is just a little bit fun.
Oh, hey,
Let's get into some fun
before you
stuff.
bring that up, just a quick story.
Go ahead.
Jungle Ink, popping bottles.
Jungle Ink.
Well, my dad sent me a link to a video that Jungle Ink had made the other day. He goes,
What
"Hey,
did he say?
check out this video."
Did you
Oh,
say,
it
oh
was
yeah,
on,
we
it
know
was on the
Jungle.
topic here. Yeah, I was like, we know Jungle.
Jungle's been on the show, man.
Jungle.
Jungle launched this channel, guys. If you don't know, On the Chain was nothing, and Jungle took it upon himself to say, guys, I'll get you started. He did a live stream. It was pretty well attended.
Stream number 1.
Yeah, first live stream, and like, this is On the Chain. He's like, what the hell is this stupid thing? And we're like, I don't know, man. It's On the Chain, and we like, and that was it. I mean, we did that, and so that the very first broadcast ever of Jeff and I is On the Chain, Jungle Ink.
Man,
So we
how
have to
many
thank
years
for
ago?
it.
That was probably
2 plus years ago, maybe 3,
yes,
maybe I don't know.
3 years ago. Yeah.
Anyway, just for a little bit of fun here, but let's just throw
Bentley
this up.
keys and popping bottles.
Yeah, and if you're Moon Lambo, you're now the Moon Sedan family sedan channel because,
Sophie said that Greenspan's 96 years old. Probably doesn't know what crypto is.
well, he can ask, what's his name? What's Charlie, the other dude? Charlie Munger. Ask Charlie Munger. I think he's like 99 or 98. But look at this right here, Jeff. So David Schwartz, Joel Cat Schwartz tweeted this out, and he said, I believe this is not, he believes. I believe this is a picture of me at a friend's bar mitzvah in 1982. The first one was scanned. The second one was cleaned up by AI. What's up with my hair, right? So he's, you can see the one on the left is a little bit foggy, and it's a picture of him, and he's got pretty big orbital hair with the, like, the ties already kind of like loose. So it's apparently from a bar mitzvah. The right one, a little more cleaned up the clarity on the photo. And so then I said, that's definitely has some shades of Sam Bankman-Fried there. It looks like it
actually does.
Right? It's got a
You
little
could
bit
say
of
that was SPF when he was a kid.
there's a little bit of SPF. Like, you'd believe it. You'd be like, David Schwartz? Hell no, that's SPF right there. Look at the giant hair. My God, that's got to be. And David replied and said, hey, at least I outgrew it. I'm like, and I'm like, yeah, I think it's badass. We all had crazy hair when we were younger. And do you guys know this awesome XRP? Do you know Just Waza, an Aussie? So Just Waza is awesome. I love his videos. First of all, I mean, let's find a picture of him first, Jeff, because this will make a lot more sense. And if you can find one of his videos, we got to have Just Waza on here. That's what we got to do. Trying to find a video of him. I mean, there's his avatar, but he does videos too. Oh, come on. There he is. There he is right there.
There he is.
There he is right there. So let's see if I can look. Okay, so just get a gander on this, right? We can watch this video, but let's just take a gander, right? I'm just gonna play a little bit just so you can see him moving. So there he is talking, right? Chatting around. So let's look back at this. So this Just Waza says, yeah, we did have crazy, hair back then. And then CD student says, yeah, some of us actually had hair too. But this is Just Waza. And I was like, dude, he's got like the back head of his shave with just a little bit of hair in the front of it. It's like, if you showed that picture to me and you said that, I would say there's no way that's the same dude.
There's no way.
I'm like, that's not the same dude, Jeff. That's not the same guy. It's just not, But you can see it is. I mean, you can see the
hat off.
resemblance.
He has the exact same haircut now. We don't know.
Yeah, you don't know.
He just grew a beard in the meantime.
Yeah, and there's a couple other ones in there too. But anyway, I was like, that's crazy, man. That's let me
Is it true that more lawyers have left the SEC legal team? They did lose some lawyers over the period of time that this was all ongoing.
Yeah, they have lost them over time.
I don't know what's happened recently.
So here we go, Jeff. Let's put this up here. I turned the volume on here. So let's see. Jeff, I want you to give me your opinion on what he's saying here.
This was a video Saturday morning as promised. One of the first was videos of 2023. So I just thought I'd pop in and say hello, say good day, and how the fuck are we? What the fuck's going on with Charles Gasparino? Is he in direct competition with Charles Hoskinson to be the biggest Suki la pussy wanker of the XRP community?
There you go, Jeff. There you go. Is he in competition? Well, there you go. There's Just Waza right there, right? So there you go. Yeah. So his videos are funny. I do get a kick out of them. There's no doubt about that. But so Jeff, I'm not done with this whole thing. So now when I brought up the whole SBF resemblance thing, I was like, sounds a little bit like there's a little bit of a resemblance there, right? So what do you think came out next? So next up, this is the next one that that David Schwartz tweeted out right here. He wants to know who wore it better, me or SBF. And look at that, dude. You see that side by side? You do see a lot of, right?
Hey, that could be, man, that could be the same guy.
On the left, we have SBF with the big hair, and on the right, we have none other than David Schwartz, who may or may not be at a friend's bar mitzvah from 1982. Nobody knows for sure.
But what we do know is that he's wearing a suit.
But let's get, he also, he put a poll out on this too, and he said, well, and so the first choice was him. Second choice was Sam Bankman-Fried. Third one was, where is the eye bleach? And then the fourth one was just show the results. And so coming in at 58% was me, meaning David Schwartz. Sam only was able to muster up 7%. And so, yeah, everyone agrees that David Schwartz wore it better, no doubt.
No diggity.
Yeah, diggity. There you go, Jeff.
Hey, so
hang on a second, Jeff. Wait. So there was one more. So somebody actually.
Hey, there's another one.
Somebody put this tweet out and they said, like, well, I can't be the only one that sees resemblance. This is like about back in November. But kind of look at like the present day. Look at the looks on the face, right? A little kind of smile. So anybody, in other words, I wasn't the first one to call that. People thought there was some resemblance there, even without the hair. What do you got, Jeff?
Have they been in the same place at the same time?
That I can't tell you.
Our buddy, you're talking about Sam Bankman-Fried. So he wants to use $460 million Robinhood stake to pay his lawyers. So I said, that's a pretty big legal fund.
That's bigger than the Ripple fund.
It's bigger than a Ripple fund. But then I'm thinking, well, that money that's in Robinhood, that was taken from people, from retail investors and investors. So now is it okay if his lawyers, I was talking to my buddy about this. I said, now what about, imagine his lawyers decided that, okay, you can pay us with that, knowing that the money is coming from potentially from, defrauding individuals. And that's how he's getting the money. And I said, man, that 460 million is a big legal fund. You know how much the legal fund was for Bernie Madoff? $700 million.
Yikes. It's almost $1 billion.
Man, those attorneys are living large.
It's a good gig if you can get it, Jeff.
700 million. So I was thinking, man, $500 million. But that's what it, it's crazy though, that they would even contemplate that. They would consider, yeah, go ahead. Sell those shares. Man, this shit couldn't get any crazier.
But it does, Jeff. It definitely does. It does get a little bit crazier.
You know how crazy it gets? This is how crazy it gets, Chip. When the XRP standard production says, so crazy to think that one day someone's going to buy an XRP for $5.89 and think nothing of it.
Yeah, I mean, and the best part about it, they won't know anything about the bears or the riddlers. They just won't know anything about that, which is because I always go back to the main reason I invested in it in the first place was I had a cool mascot, bearable guy, 1, 2, 3. And also, the riddlers and all that stuff, all the riddles, that was like, I mean, why wouldn't you invest in something like that? I mean, it makes perfect sense, Jeff. Forget about use case.
That's right.
Why would you?
Man.
Why would you do something?
Well, here's some food for thought, Chip. The government is heavily into crypto. It's all smoke and mirrors.
Harry Hart, I do not doubt that. I wanted to kind of bring it back around with, we talk a lot about XRP, the SEC and stuff, but this was a really good comment that John Deaton had replied to, and this one is it right here. So Crypto Arsenal asked the question, is there any analysis of these audits? He's replying, actually, I'd really need to go up here. He says, not only did Ripple have to register as a money, what does that MSB stand for, Jeff? I forget MSB, but
what MSB?
It's a
in more
money
context.
something transmitter, something like that. They did, and this guy was asking if there's any analysis of the audits. I'm assuming they were used by the SEC to ascertain how much Ripple sold as unregistered securities. Could be one reason why the case was then brought against Ripple. Easy to obtain transparent audits rather than disguised whales. And John Deaton said, well, between these audits and discovery, Ripple had to provide to the SEC, it's aware of all the XRP transactions from the beginning until now, and no fraud, no money laundering, no misrepresentation was ever charged. Ripple is the most scrutinized private company in crypto. And it goes back to the fact that back in 2015, Ripple had to register all sales with FinCEN, FINCAN, and the Department of Justice, not the SEC. So the funny part about it is sometimes I keep bringing this up. I know we brought this up yesterday, but it's important to bring up because it's already been regulated by FinCEN and the Department of Justice. So to say like, well, there's no clarity and, nobody knows. Yeah, there isn't. But given that it's already registered and they had to submit to audits for 5 years. So that sounds like it's being regulated by a government agency right there, Department of Justice and FinCEN.
Those pesky things.
So
Jim D is saying buying XRP for $5.89 may be more a matter of how little the US dollar is than it is a reflection of XRP value.
I don't be bringing out truth daggers right there.
we don't
Jim D.
we don't like
You don't need that kind of truth
out here.
That's
Come on.
depressing, man. Depress us all to hell.
I know that's kind of like when you get to that point, we got to get the wait, put that one back up again. Put up. Oh shoot, now I lost it.
I hate that. That happens to me. It's like right there. Oh, just I lost it. There it is. It happens.
Legendary. The general public is gonna have to watch the XRP movie to know anything about the history we're living. Man, there's another one too. Think about that. Now, if there's a movie on crypto and XRP and all these other things, it's gonna have to go back to the beginning, especially that exciting time, 2017, 2018, the Dancing Bears, the Riddles, the Vincent Wilsons, all the way through now. Could you imagine? I mean, even like Bitcoin and Pizzagate, and all these different elements within the crypto. Man, it's going to be interesting. Very interesting to sit back and watch that.
It is. And, Panos put this tweet out. Something else you teased in the open I think we should cover too is he said, back to basics, how and why did you create the XRP Ledger? And this is Joel Katz's, David Schwartz's answer on Quora. Yeah, let me see if this will let me get into it. The actual one. Otherwise,
why did he create it? Why, Chip?
Well, here you go, Jeff. So he says, so how and why did you create the XRP Ledger? Jed McKillop,
Conundrum,
Arthur Brito, and I created the XRP Ledger to solve for the waste and scalability issues that we observed with Bitcoin. Estimates suggest that Bitcoin mining uses approximately 73 terawatts, the equivalent power of what the whole of the Czech Republic consumes. We also saw some serious issues with speed, scalability, and control, and our initial read indicated that there could be significant problems such as a 51% attack. If any miner obtained greater than 50% of the mining power, that risk persists with Bitcoin and Ethereum today as mining power has consolidated in China. But this is when it was written, right? But this is 2011. No, I don't know when this was actually written. We'll find out. In June of 2012, we created 100 billion XRP all at once. Well, they didn't. It was already created. Rather than loaned through mining, and it was released on a fully operational distributed ledger. The XRP Ledger makes it easy for anyone to run a node and uses a consensus mechanism to approve transactions, enabling more people to participate using very little power consumption, and then they settle nearly instantly for a few cents. XRP's characteristics, speed and scale, make it the perfect digital asset to solve lots of different use cases across verticals like payments, identity, gaming, and virtual goods, digital media, and many more industries. Jeff's thoughts?
Man, think about, at that moment in time, think about, 2012, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, what they were contemplating, and the whole, the Bitcoin craze hadn't hit yet, but Bitcoin was still relatively new to the scene. And if we go back with David Schwartz, he had already written this prior to any of that happening, right? What did it go back to? What, like 2008? When were they writing a lot of these things? I forget when it, but that's
This one was 3 years from 3 years ago. This actual comment
yeah, but this is really impactful, though. The launch of the XRP Ledger, and we haven't even seen the full-fledged utility of the XRPL. There's so many aspects to it that we've referenced here, multiple times. Within the payment space, obviously, having almost near instant settlement, Ripple building out the ODL, utilizing the XRPL, and now what we're going to see with Flare, what those guys, could do with XRP, but that's not, obviously they're not building on the XRPL, but man, it is kind of exciting. The why. I think the biggest why really is, man, I still think we haven't even seen the full why yet.
Because there's so many different use cases for it, and that's the whole thing. I mean, the SEC sidestepped all that part of it, the old use case thing. But yeah, I think you're right. And the funny thing is that everybody has to consistently be reminded that was where the first, exactly the first decentralized exchange happened.
There we go, 1996, when he was working for the NSA.
There you go.
They launched XRPL in 2012. Yep, that's exactly correct. But man,
13 years ago, Jeff. So I thought that was a pretty good one right there. But anyway, I mean, that's like, we got a bunch of other stuff too. We just never get to it because we talked too much, Jeff.
That's what we got, Chip. 35 cents.
Almost 36 there.
I see movement. Hey, you guys over in Australia, you guys are doing a great job pumping the XRP over here in Australia. Japan's always pumping some XRP, maybe South Korea a little bit. I don't know what's over. What would that be over in that region right there where that one just dropped?
It's called a dead zone right there. I don't know what that is, but I don't think it's 100% accurate.
Is that Croatia?
North America.
Where's Croatia? Way over here. Something.
Yeah, Croatia's over there in the Mediterranean, Jeff. It's right across from Italy.
What's
close enough.
Oh, yeah, it's over. This map is kind of funky. Can't even. Why am I not seeing stuff here?
By the way, going back to the comment we talked about making a movie about the the XRP thing and all that. Rain brings up a good point. The FTX movie. Okay, they've already hired writers. I think they've already been bidding on this whole thing. I think it's like they're trying to figure out who's going to get it, whether it's like Amazon or Netflix. But I saw that the Bernie Madoff one, the documentary, whatever it is, the show they have on Netflix, was like in the top 10. And I'm like, you know what? I want to be entertained, man. I don't want to see interviews with people who lost everything, like got their house, like everything. They're they worked their entire lives and got it destroyed. I'm sorry, man. I don't know if I had the stomach for it. Reminds me of when I was in Poland and I had a chance to go to Auschwitz. I'm like, I don't think I can handle going there, just knowing what happened there. I just didn't feel like I could deal with it. So I feel like, just that's not my form of entertainment. My form of entertainment is, explosions and zombies and, so, you know what I mean, Jeff? That's entertainment for me, but I don't really want to go to the whole, I don't know if I can stomach watching a whole series about that. Does anybody watch that? Can you guys comment on that? Do you guys watch that series on Madoff? I saw I did watch the trailer, and even the trailer was like, dude, I just don't want to watch this, because I did have interviews with real people, and they're like, explaining, I was in my early 70s at that time, and I lost everything, and I'm like, no, man.
Who has a lot of downtime is SBF. Maybe he can watch it.
You know what? And somehow I think, why don't we feel like this guy's going to skate right through? Could it be the cloak of protection from all the people he's gifted money to and laundered money? And we already know that money went over to an outside, let's be cautious, went to another country, and then that other country invested money into FTX, and then that sounds a lot like money laundering to me, Jeff. I'm not an expert in money laundering, but it sounds an awful lot like it's been washed and kind of cleaned up a little bit, but who knows? Who am I?
Sounds a little laundry-esque.
Yeah, there's some laundry going on there. But anyway, that's all we got for you guys. We're back on Wednesday.
Chip, in the last 30 seconds, let's talk about this now.
Awesome.
Jim D, we'll talk. Thoughts on the possibility the XRP and ODL are more relevant than native token XRP. XRP is used within the ODL, but we can talk about that on Wednesday.
We can talk about that. It's a great question, though. That's all I have right there.
All I've got, Chip.
I feel like they push the narrative during those things. Yeah, that is true too. There is an outcome they're looking for, but no matter how you get there, it's pretty tragic.
Interesting timing, Chip, that they drop the Madoff movie at the exact moment. Not saying there's something here. At the exact moment that we're going through a real life duplicate trial that they're referencing Madoff, and it just so happens that it's in the crypto space. Oh, isn't that interesting? All those people that didn't know who Madoff was, now's the time to catch up. I wonder why. I wonder why the parallels are happening at this exact moment.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Sir John thinks Sir John thinks I should have visited Auschwitz. Makes you one rethink life itself. Should be a must.
Yeah,
I was younger, and it's just
it is a must place to visit.
Yeah, it was. I was younger and stuff, and I read too many stories about it, and too much. I don't know, man. It's just I just like keep it to some happier things. I mean, it's good to know what's there. Play us out, says Sean Thompson. Yeah, play us out. And that's it, guys. That's all we have. Jeff, you wanna get us out of here so we can be off and on our way.
Thank you, and good night.
There you go, people. Thank you. Good night.
But the best and the brightest in all of the crypto space gathered right here. All of our on the chain community.
What's going on there?
Yeah, see?
You have a cough drop or something, see?
Yeah, see?
Best and brightest.
Yeah, see? Got all these great supporters here, see?
Yeah, that's what it is, see? Yeah, went there over last week, see?
Yeah, down
Got
there last
myself
week.
a new timepiece from my wrist, see? Come on.
We'll check you guys out on Wednesday evening. We are out of here.
We are out of here, guys. See you on the next one. Chip and Jeff out.
Yeah.
Are you down with OTC? Please like, subscribe, and click the bell to be notified when the next video drops.